Okay, y'all. So this is a test. I am testing all of my systems here. So I am going to encourage you a little bit about overcoming fear, but greater than that, I need to test to see does this stuff work. Okay. So if you are watching this, I need some comments. Let me know. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my millennial old man stuff. I don't know if this stuff work or not. So we are about to see real quick. And then I'm gonna jump in to what I'm supposed to be talking about. Yes, we are on Facebook. That is wonderful. So I'm going to assume we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram as well. Listen, I've been out for a minute because my systems have been down. So I really apologize for that. So feel free to hit me up in a chat, talk to me. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to hear from you. I want to test one more thing out as well. I want to test my music. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I get you up. So listen, I'm not going to keep you all long, but I do want to encourage you. I want to encourage you because this thing, fear, is a huge topic in the world today. Like, think about the news that you hear on a daily basis. Think about, all the bad news, the scary news that's going on. It's almost like part of our American economy is based and ran off of fear, right? Like a lot of us, we walk into rooms carrying something heavy. You're not carrying anything literally in your hand, but you're carrying something heavy in your chest, on your back, right? You feel this weight, and that invisible weight is fear. And sometimes it keeps us from speaking up. Sometimes it keeps us from applying to the new job or going after our career. Sometimes it keeps us and paralyzes us from doing the very thing that God has called us to do. All right. Now I can't be the only one who is dealing with fear, who's dealt with fear. And this stuff is huge. All right. So fear, it just doesn't hold you back. It robs you of the life God has designed for you. All right. So this is no small thing when we're talking about fear, right? Um, Now I'm going to give you 5 keys to overcome fear. Okay, 5 keys to overcome fear. This is important. This is huge. And let me see how this look. I don't even know. Oh, I can't change it. Okay. Remember, we're testing this out. We're testing this out. I'm getting it together. I'm building my live muscle. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, as I'm doing this live, I'm overcoming my own fear, right? I know I love to talk, I love to create content, but it's scary. You know what I'm saying? It is. So I'm overcoming my own fear and doing everything that God has called me to do. I'm walking it out. All right. So the first key, overcoming fear, we first got to admit that we have some fear. All right, we gotta admit we have some fear. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and put that in the chat. Like, I got some fear. Like, that's just a real thing. Like, I got some fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, for us or for me, I'll just speak for myself to act like I don't have any fears. It's just wrong. You know what I'm saying? I want to grow to the point where I'm like, I'm not afraid of anything. Let's go. Right. I want to get to that point, but if we just be real about it, if we're going to overcome fear, we really have to admit that we have fear to some degree at some level, right? Now, you might be the spiritual beast and the spiritual mature, and like you might not have any fears. And I tip my hat off to you. And you know what I'm saying? I hope that you're encouraging people and showing people not to have fear. But it's okay if you got some fear to admit that you got some fear. Okay. We've been trained and conditioned, right, to hide our fears. All right. We've been trained and conditioned to smile when we're stressed out and we're going through. We've been trained and conditioned to act like everything is okay when our world is literally rocked. Because oftentimes, if we reveal that we have some fear, we may look like we are less spiritual, like we're emotionally unstable, like we're weak, all because we have fear. All right. And remember, like Like this fear thing, we've been trained to be fearful for a very long time. See, a lot of things that occur in our life, it just don't happen by accident, right? This thing is called a formation, and we are being spiritually developed. All 8 billion people on earth are being spiritually developed even before they were, while they were in their mother's womb, they are becoming a type of person. Now, as a believer, I want to become the type of person who is like Jesus, right? Like that's my end goal personally, right? But there's people who don't believe in Jesus and not following Jesus, but they're still becoming a type of person, right? So this fear, we've been being trained by fear, a whole for generations. All right. So right now, I want you to do something that's brave. All right. I want you to acknowledge it. Like, man, I got some fear. Like, I got some fear of failure. I got some fear of success. I got some fear of being rejected and not liked and not popular. I got some fear of not being enough. I got some fear of not being good enough. I got some fear of not being strong enough. I got some fear. I got some fear about wars and snow and ice. Like the weather is wild. Like I just got some fear. It's okay to lay it out on the table if you got some fear. Now I'm not trying to force you to have fear. If you don't have any fear, don't have any fear. But it's okay to lay it out there that I got some fear because we cannot conquer what we don't confront. All right, I need you to get that. We cannot overcome what we do not acknowledge. And there's times in our lives where we don't have to settle for hiding and covering up. There's some things that God wants you to put on the table and lay before him. Like, God, I'm giving this to you. I got some fear. I'm giving it to you. All right. Come on, talk to me. All right. So overcoming fear, this is huge. All right. So that's the first thing. We got to acknowledge our fear. The second thing, and this is my favorite one right here, you have to know you are beloved. Come on, somebody put that in the chat. I am beloved. Come on, I need you to put that in the chat right now. I am beloved. All right. I am loved deeply, passionately by God. I am beloved. All right. If we're going to overcome fear, there has to be something in our identity to know that we are beloved. And guess what? You are beloved not based off what you produce. You're beloved not based off your title or your accomplishments. You're beloved just because you are a human being. God loves you. See, fear, it feeds off of our isolation. It feeds off of thoughts and belief systems and stories that we're not good enough, right? That we don't have enough, that we don't measure up. Like fear feeds off that in the silent, secret places in our heart. So if we want to overcome fear, it's important that our identity is locked in to God's love. All right, I need somebody to feel that your identity is locked in to God's love. You got your 180 book. Vernice Allen, what's going on? I see you, Angela. What's going on? I see you. All right. All right. I'm fear to drive. You talking about driving in the snow? All right. So we gotta know that we're loved. Come on, put it in the chat. I am beloved. And this is a hard thing to wrap our minds around, especially as Americans, because growing up, of course, we got to train our children, and we were being trained by our parents and our loved ones that, hey, getting a C or a D or an F in school is totally unacceptable, right? I need you to do X, Y, and Z and correct it. We were trained, hey, just knocking over stuff in the store. No, no, chill out. You're not gonna get no candy, right? Right? We were trained like that. And God is trying to untrain us, saying, like, hey, no matter what you do, you are loved. God is not giving us permission just to do anything willy-nilly, but we need to know that we are beloved. And knowing that we are beloved will help us overcome our fears. So I challenge you to start your day every day. Pray this prayer. This is one of my favorite prayers on earth. My favorite prayer on earth is this: God, today, show me how much you love me. Whew, I dare you to pray that. Watch what God shows you. God, today, show me how much you love me. And then start to connect the dots in your life of circumstances and things that happen and words people say and things you hear and things you experience, the good, bad, and ugly, and God walking you through everything, and watch how God connect the dots and see, like, look, I love you this much. I love you this much. Come on, come on. I see y'all in the chat that you are beloved. I love it. I love it. I love it. Third thing. All right, I got five things. We out of here. We have to understand that fear is spiritual, not just psychological. All right. Second Timothy 1:7. God has not given us the spirit of fear. Dallas Willard defines a spirit as unbodily power. Unbodily power. That means fear has a certain power to it. When you hear the word spirit, that means spirit carries a power. Whether it's a good spirit or an evil spirit, that word spirit means it has some power behind it. All right. So God did not give us the spirit or the power of fear. So if we have gripping fear that's paralyzing us, that's hindering us from moving, from taking the next step, for jumping on live, you know what I'm saying? Whatever God has called you to do, God did not give you that spirit. All right. This means that fear operates on a spiritual level and it requires a spiritual solution. All right. Come on, y'all. We overcoming fear. Fear requires a spiritual solution. And this is why our words are so important, because the words we speak are a spiritual solution. This is why our thoughts are so important, because the thoughts we think is a spiritual solution. All right. This is why how we treat others is so important, because how we treat other people is a spiritual solution. All right. Here we go. So we cannot, we need truth, faith, and love to combat fear. And that leads us to number four. Actually, that's number five, but I need to hit number four real quick. We got to understand the consequences of fear. Okay. Understand the consequences of fear. Yeah, let's be honest. Fear costs you something. Like, be real with me in the chat. All right, be real. God bless you as well, Fritz. Be real with me in the chat. Okay. Like, has fear ever cost you anything? If so, say fear cost me something. Like, just keep it 100 real quick. Like, has fear cost you anything? Has fear cost you a relationship? Has fear cost you a job opportunity? Has fear cost you a promotion? Has fear cost you some money? Has fear cost you anything? Has it cost you some gray hairs? Has it cost you some sleepless nights? Have fear cost you anything? Come on, come on, come on. We overcoming fear. Let me show some of these. My bad. We overcoming fear. All right. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I got amens in the chat. All right. I got I'm beloved in the chat. I love it. We got to know that we are beloved in this chat. I got people tagging other people, I think. I don't know. All right. Fear costs you something. Come on. This is the realest thing we can say, and we can understand about fear, that fear actually cost us something, because it's a motivation to understand that there's consequences, huge consequences behind operating in the spirit of fear. So if we want to overcome fear, we got to understand deeply and intimately the consequences of a thing. All right. So fear costs us something. It just doesn't limit our potential. It limits the people we're meant to serve, lead, and inspire. I feel myself getting juiced up. All right. Fear, it doesn't just cost us our potential, it costs us the people we're supposed to be serving, the people we're supposed to be leading, the people we're supposed to be inspiring. When we operate out of fear, it not only hinders us, but it hinders the people we're supposed to be loving and impacting on a daily basis. Why? Because we're fearful what other people think about us. We're fearful of the words people say about us, and we can't even hear the words. The words don't even get to us, and we're fearful about the potential of somebody talking about us or saying something about us, not knowing somebody are they talking about you anyway. Oh, they talking about you anyway. You know what I'm saying? They talking about you anyway. So we're fearful over some stuff that's going to happen anyway, but we don't do it because of fear. And when we don't do it, they going to talk about you anyway. Man, that's one of the greatest lessons I've learned in my life. And I'm trying to get it in my spirit. I'm trying to live it. You know what I'm saying? That it doesn't matter. Like if I'm filthy rich, people gonna talk about me. If I'm poor, people gonna talk about me. If I'm middle class, people gonna talk about me. If I'm driving my beautiful red van, people gonna talk about me. If I'm driving my Cadillac, people gonna talk about me. I don't got a Cadillac, but it's on its way. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter the state I am. If I get my high school diploma, people gonna talk about me. If I get my GED, they gonna talk about me. If I get my bachelor's, master's, and PhD, people gonna talk about me. It doesn't matter which way you go, left or right, up or down, foolish or wise, people gonna talk about you. And a lot of our fear, it centers around the opinions of other people when God said, why are you so worried about what other people think? You should be concerned about what I think. And what I think is that you are beloved, that you are wise, that you are powerful, that you are blessed, that you are holy, that you are innocent, that you are pure. And you like, Mo, God is saying all that about me? Yes. The problem is we don't believe what God has said about us. We believe what we think about us and we go off of what we see. Well, I just made a mistake. God said you're forgiven. I said, what if I say the wrong thing? God said you're forgiven. What if I make the wrong move? God said, I work out all things together for your good because you love me and called according to my purpose. There's a spiritual word for every one of our hangups, excuses, and things that's trying to block us from God's plan for our lives. And this is why I got to get to the last one. And then we're going to go to sleep because I got to wake up in the morning. Here we go. Let me see what y'all talking about real quick in the chat. All right. Vernice, I'm trying. Vernice. All right. I miss you. All right. All right, Sister Ware Harris, I miss you. I love you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Claim it right now in the name of Jesus. Because there's some things that God has for you, but we got to be real. Fear be holding us back. All right. We got to keep 100. Fear be holding us back. Okay. So here we go, y'all. Here we go. Here's the last thing. Okay. And this is right out of this is exciting. Okay. I got two verses for you. We're gonna go back to Timothy 1:7. Okay. But then I got this verse in Proverbs. Where is that? Proverbs. Here we go. Y'all got to see this. I just discovered this today. And I said, I gotta share this. Proverbs 13:19. I don't even know how I found it. Proverbs 13:19. Check this out, y'all. This blew my mind in the NLT. I got to figure out how to put this. Remember, I got a new setup. So I got to figure out how to get this on the screen. Proverbs 13:19. It says, it is pleasant to see dreams come true. Come on, y'all. This right in the word. That it's pleasant. It's a good thing to see dreams come true. But fools refuse to turn from evil to attain them. It's pleasant to see dreams come true, but fools refuse to turn from evil to obtain them. That means there's some dreams that you have in your heart from God that God wants to see them come true. And it's a warning, do not be a fool and refuse to turn from evil because you won't attain them if you keep going in the evil way. And just to eisegete the text, this evil way is the way of fear, because God did not give us a spirit of fear. He gave us power, love, and a sound mind. So if you want to overcome fear, first you got to admit that you got some fear. Second, you got to know that you are beloved. Third, you got to understand that fear is spiritual. And because it's a spiritual issue, that means we need a spiritual solution. Fourth, we got to understand the consequences of fear. And lastly, we have to practice. We got to practice, y'all, walking in power, love, and a sound mind. A lot of times we want to eradicate fear in one swoop. You know what? I've heard Mo talk on this live about fear, and it's done in one swoop. It does not work like that. We have to practice so we become the type of people who do not operate in the spirit of fear, but we become the type of people who are operating in the spirit of power, in the spirit of love, and in the spirit of a sound mind. Come on, put in the chat, I gotta practice. I gotta practice. I gotta practice. I gotta practice. Come on, because practice is what shapes us into us being who God has called us to be. We must practice. We talk about practice. Yes, I'm talking about practice. We got to practice, y'all, because if we don't practice, we can't practice. Okay, let me say it like this. I see this all the time with believers, y'all. I promise you I do. I see this all the time with believers. And this is what I see. I see us trying to run marathons without training. Right now. Right now. Who can run a marathon right now? Like you can just put on your clothes and you can just run a marathon. Right? Running a marathon is extremely difficult. Okay? It's extremely difficult. It's very difficult. Matter of fact, if you train to run a marathon, when you run it, you still going to be tired. It's still going to be hard. But if we practice to run a marathon, guess what? We become the type of people who can run a marathon with ease if we practice. And I'm telling you right now, if you practice walking in power, if you practice walking in love, if we practice walking with a sound mind, guess what? We become the type of people who can run a marathon. You guys, I gotta say this, y'all. This is, you know what? I'm just gonna do this real quick. All right. I'm gonna do this just for y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is a practice live, but since y'all on here live, I gotta give you this word. Let me find it real quick. I think it's in First Peter chapter 5. Yep, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I'm gonna give y'all this. I'm gonna give y'all this, and we out of here, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all this and we out of here. Okay. We gotta practice. Okay. And this is what happens. I think sometimes we forget in this life that we have a real enemy out here. Okay. And you hear different stuff. This is why I try to stay off TikTok, because you got people, they just all over the place. Okay. All right. I try to stick to the word. Okay. The word say we got an enemy out here. All right. Roaring like a lion, seeking whom he may devour. All right. Now, if you know anything about lions, y'all, lions are predators. Okay. Lions are predators. All right, I got it. That means they hunt prey. Now, lions, they eat about every 3 to 4 days. Okay. They eat every 3 to 4 days. Matter of fact, you can say lions practice fasting. They feast, then they fast. All right. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. All right. They feast and they fast. Okay. And I'm talking about the spirit of fear here. And we're going to overcome the spirit of fear. I'm about to give you something real quick. Okay. So I love this in First Peter 5:8. It says this. Let me just read it to you real quick. It says, stay alert. Watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Now, my question to you, I want to put this answer in the chat. Okay. Let me slow down a little bit. What brings the most danger to a lion? What's the most dangerous thing to a lion? What's the one thing that a lion is concerned about, is worried about, and is fearful of on a daily basis? What has the lion up at night? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Talk to me. Like what has the lion up at night? What has the lion afraid? All right. I want you to think about this because he's walking around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. He's seeking to instill the spirit of fear into somebody. He's seeking to kill, steal, and destroy. All right. Y'all see it? Okay. So the lion, I'm going to give you the answer. The lion is most afraid of another lion. Not a human being. He'll tear a human being up. All right. The lion is concerned of another lion because another lion poses the threat of overcoming. Come on, Angela, you said it. Overcoming his pride and his territory. Guess what? The lion is not afraid of the prey, because the prey is always grazing. The prey is always eating. The prey is always weak. The prey is always scattered. The prey is afraid. And my big question to you as I end this live is, when the lion looks at you, what does the lion see? Does a lion see another lion, someone dangerous to his territory, or does a lion see a prey ready to be devoured? Yep, I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna let that. I'm gonna play my theme music out. What does the lion? Who are you in Christ? We serve the Lion of Judah. We serve the resurrected King. We serve the one who has all power and authority on earth. My question is, when the enemy looks at you, when he tries to instill the spirit of fear in you through the news, through other people, through family, through tragedy, through circumstances and situations, through your children and grandchildren, what does he see? Another lion? Or does he see somebody weak in another prey? And I don't know who need to hear this, but I'm telling you right now, you got the juice. God goes before you. God is behind you. God is around you. God is inside of you. All you have to do is use your God-given authority, practice his presence daily, speak what God told you to speak, live and love how God called you to love, and no devil in hell will be able to stop you because of fear. I hate to leave y'all like this. I'm juiced up, but I know God got something for you. But we got to stop being afraid. We have to say no to fear when it counts most. There's going to be somebody you see today, and God is going to say, pray for that person, and fear paralyzes us. There's going to be somebody you see, God's going to say, lay hands on that person, and fear stop us. There's going to be somebody we see, and God says you need to speak to that person. You need to love that person. You need to forgive that person. But the fear in our heart, the insecurity we feel, our identity crisis, it rises up and it stops us from doing the very thing that God has called us to do. And when we stop doing that thing, that's where our dreams stop. I need you to go after it. Come on. I'm out of here, y'all. I love y'all. Listen, my goal, my intention is to be on here more. Okay. I've worked on my system. I got it all figured out, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? So my goal is to be on here more. What I need from you, I need you to like. I need you to keep the comments flowing. I need you to share this with somebody personally. I need you to push that share button on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I need you to share it, and I need you to send it to somebody personally and tell them you need to overcome your fear in 2026. There's some stuff God put in you that you don't even understand. You need to watch this and overcome your fear. I'm out of here, y'all. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. And I will be back. Okay. I will be back. And y'all just hit me up. If y'all want me to shoot a video about something, hit me up. All right. Hit me up. And you know